As discussed in our daily millionaire news about 20 minutes or so ago, I wanted to come back to you with another live stream to give you 5 metrics that are going on in the real estate market today. And just more evidence that kind of a repeat of 2010 is coming. Really like doing these daily videos with you because you can always go back and see what I've been predicting and see that if I'm wrong or I'm right. And what you're going to see in this video is what I've been telling you for the last month, maybe 6 weeks, is very likely, is absolutely coming to fruition. As you'll see, it is still early, but I expect motivated sellers to be waving their arms here in a month to 45 days. So there are 5 metrics. These metrics have come from various sources. Redfin reported a couple of these. Zillow, I saw some, and then I think I got one from a CNBC article. But I just wanted to pull all of these together. So first and foremost, sellers as of April 11th or April 10th, I forget what the date was, are still holding pretty firm on prices. When you go back and look at the last week compared to this same week a year ago, you can see that price drops are not all that bad, right? Historically speaking, we had 3% of listings have a price drop in the last 7 days. And last year, same week, year on year, was right around 3% as well. So again, as I've been telling you, sellers are, the prices are sticky on the way down, right? They remember February, they remember January, and they're not in a rush to have price drops. I do believe that is going to start to crack very shortly. I believe this 3% drop was a national number. I believe if you went local, you could see substantially more than 3% in some of the biggest MSAs in the country. For example, I would be shocked if New York wasn't more than 3%, if LA wasn't more than 3%, if the Bay Area wasn't more than 3%. And I think you're going to start to see cracks form in many, many other cities. The other thing you have to realize is the numbers that make up this statistic rely on active listings. So if sellers simply pull off their listings, that is going to impact this as well, right? This is going to be a statistical tweak to the numbers because what is going to happen is listings are going to go down. So any adjustments are going to be on a smaller base of listings. So fully expect price drops to be a lot more prevalent in the next 4 to 6 weeks. And we're going to see double-digit price drops in many, many, many locations across the country. So that's the first one. Number 2 is they call it housing tours. Think open houses, things of that nature. I think you would probably expect that these are down. They're not down as much as I thought they would be, so I'm wondering how they count these. The last week they were down 26%. The week before, however, was down 33%. So we've had 2 bad weeks in a row for showings. And this is important because, again, it's very early in the purchasing process, right? If you're seeing this early drop in just looking at property, you can take that drop and kind of fast forward it 45 days and realize there's not going to be offers, there's not going to be loans, there's not going to be closings. So when you can track viewings or showings early, you can just, you're going to have a bad 90 days if you're in the real estate market. So that is definitely a number to track and interesting. Here's one that takes a little bit of, you got to scratch your head about: days on market. Again, this is a national number. I believe lots of locations will be vastly different. But on a national level, days on market fell, which is interesting, right? Last year, the number was 64 days. This year is 59. When you kind of peel that back, you have to realize we're operating, again, like point number 1, on a much, much smaller base. We have people fundamentally removing property from being active to off market, which means that just a smaller base of active listings, hence the days on market looks artificially low. It's not really manipulated, right? Nobody's doing that on purpose. There's just a lot less active listings. And when you have less active listings, any sales has a meaningful impact on that number. So again, days on market is going to be interesting to watch as we roll through this. But again, you know, somebody could report on that and say, hey, days on market falling 59 versus 64, rah, rah, rah. Don't believe it. It's a manipulated number. And here's proof. Drop in new listings. God, this number's bad. Really bad. New listings fell 44% this week. Wow, 44%. And that's after last week's 33% drop. So in 2 weeks, you saw a 33% drop and then a 44% drop. I mean, just statistically speaking, let's assume that active listings were 100 both weeks. So week 1 was 67%, and then week 2 was 56. So what is that? 67 plus 56. Oh man, that's a horrible drop. Yeah, 127, something like that. Man, whew. Yeah, not good. Active listings down. And again, when you have those active listings down, like I told you is going to happen, sellers are not. What is going to happen when you have those listings come down is it's just going to be easier and easier to find the motivated sellers. This is going to be like 2010 all over again. It just is. It's just going to be. And then another one we saw, the number 5, their 5th metric is mortgage apps for purchases, not refis, purchases, fell 31%. Volume's going to dry up, folks. It just has to. And oh, by the way, if you were watching our daily millionaire news this morning, you saw that JP Morgan Chase significantly changed the purchase criteria for getting approved. From memory, they upped the credit score from 620 to 700, and now they mandate 20% down. The real estate market's going to take a hit. And it's going to be, it's going to be painful when you look at statistics. It's going to hurt our net worth. But this is what this channel is about. One rental at a time. You should learn your market, like I talk about all the time at the course I teach, because you are going to be an investor. If you watch this channel, you're going to have an opportunity to create a great deal. Everybody on this channel that watches this should try to create a great deal this year. Let's see what this says. Yeah, you got to watch most markets. I can tell you about Fresno. I don't know Colorado. I did an interview with a local real estate agent last week in Fresno, and they saw listings go up, active listings go up, which may be what you're seeing in Colorado. But when we peeled back the strata, so Fresno, and you can do this for Colorado or any market, Fresno's median is 260. What we saw is listings below 260 fell, but listings above 260 exploded. And when we peeled back that umbrella, a lot of them were developers. There's a lot of new homes hitting the market, which is a red flag, because historically speaking, the developers were selling their new homes without putting them on the MLS. They had offices that they were selling. Now they've shut those down and they're listing everything on the MLS. So some markets are seeing an uptick in listings, but a predominant share is drastically above the median because they're new builds. So don't get lost in the data. And again, I don't know if that's Colorado. It is certainly happening in Fresno. I don't remember the numbers, but it was like 20% of the new active listings were new builds, which is not normal. That is a red flag. What it means is builders are about to be in trouble because they had to shut down their office. They're not selling anything. They're not doing their, 3 model homes anymore. They're in trouble. So you can get lost in the data, but that's what I see in Fresno, California. Don't know if that's Colorado. You would know better than me. But again, what is happening when sellers are taking inventory off the market? What is happening when lending gets harder? What is happening with nobody going to open houses is very, very soon. And it's going to take time, right? Look at point number one. Sellers are sticky on the way down. We are going to find motivated sellers very quickly. And frankly, to the earlier point, builders are about to be in trouble. They're probably not in trouble for 90 days, but they run pretty cash flow tight businesses. I've already reached out to a couple of agents in my market, say, hey, let me know if any builders get in trouble and they have to sell some inventory. Maybe I can create a rental out of a brand new build, which would be cool. So it's coming. You have to look for it. You can't get distracted. You got to ask deeper questions. And yes, I do believe builders are going to pile on inventory, and that's going to be a problem. It will hurt prices. It will hurt builders will go out of business again. This is very much like 2008 through 2010. Again, I expect this data to get progressively worse. Point one, I expect price drops to be double digits, probably in 2 or 3 weeks. I expect housing tours to continually fall, probably by 30% year on year numbers. Days on market, that's a number that's going to be so manipulated because the smaller base. Yeah, contractors are in trouble too. Good point. Drop in new listings, that's going to continue. I mean, gosh, 44% drop after a 33% drop. That's just horrible. And then mortgage apps. Mortgage apps are going to go down even more. If other banks like Wells Fargo and the like follow Chase and they raise their standards, man, lending is going to be a problem. So in the end, I wanted to create this video because I think talking real estate numbers on this channel is important. I've talked about most of these over the last couple of months, and they're coming just like expected. All right, everybody, have a great day. Take care. Bye.